Little duckling survival update.
Oh,
How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 left.
that's what, 14?
13. So 8 have passed, unfortunately.
Oh.
Batteries have been delivered. Cables. So I've got some Lynx all here to set up. I'm using a new camera today. I'm hoping that stabilisation is going to be good. I bought a new tool. It's this hydraulic crimper. It was about 80 quid. It does 16mm up to 300mm. So I'm just going to try and crimp on some of the cables. See how that goes, eh? All of the cable I purchased and all of the lugs was from Altec Automotive. Pretty cool stuff. All comes separately wrapped. They deliver next day. As you can imagine, with this size cable, it does come at a cost. But yeah, they're a great company. I've bought all of the cabling on the boat from them.
What are you doing today?
I'm doing cables today.
What cables are you doing?
Battery cables.
Battery cables. You are qualified.
I'm a qualified wireman.
Qualified 12 volt wireman.
So I'm doing 70mm cable, Lynx, the lugs, 70mm cable lug with an 8mm hole that's going to go into the battery. I've got a hydraulic crimper. So this is a 70mm cable lug, and I've got a 50mm die that's in the hydraulic crimper at the minute. Because of how flexible the copper is inside these cables, you need to go down a size. If I use a 70mm die within that, it can either slip off or it's quite loose. So 50mm tightens it up. Here's one I made earlier. It does give it a couple of like little ears on the side of the lug, but it's crimped down like super tight. There's no chance that you're getting that off. Now I'm going to crimp the next one. You can do with 3 hands really with this job. It gets really tight. I can't go any more than that. So there's a little release button on the hydraulic tool. There's a work and release or reset. So once you've finished compressing in your lug, you just press reset. This releases the hydraulic arm and
Wow.
you're good to go.
That's an impressive tool you have
Isn't
there.
Look at the ears on that one. Have a go, Shell. Test the product. Try and pull it. I won't drum.
Oh, it's come off.
There you go. So, there we go. Repeat the process until I've done all my cables, and that's it. Negative links are done. A little diagram there of where the battery should be. So I've got my 2 single links that I've just dropped in, and then my double length link there that I'll be able to put in. So I've just got to do the same now with the lives, and then we're cooking on gas. Is that right to say? Heat shrink has been applied now to each of the cables. Looks like all the gears arrived. Let's take a look, see if it's all here, eh? But yeah, this is a Lynx distributor. So our main cables from our batteries will be going to this distributor, which is going to be inside the boat. I'm running a 95mm cable from the battery bank up to this point, and then I will use one for the inverter, which will have a 250 amp fuse on, and one for the 12 volt breaker board, which I can show you that. This item here. So there'll be an 100 amp fuse on that. I'll be powering a solar connection through this as well. I'm gonna run a 10mm back to the battery box to supply a small fuse board that it's basically controlling the bilge pumps. What else? The Webasto. The distributor itself is really well put together. Everything's separated. Your negatives are at the bottom, connecting onto their own buzz bar. Let's turn this around, make it easier. So the negatives, yeah, are connected at the bottom there. So it's got its own buzz bar. You can break these off when you start putting your cables in. If you're not using any of the compartments, you can leave them in there so you can't get your fingers up. Another clever idea. You can install them upside down. There's, where is it? A sticker. So you can stick the label upside down so all of the writing's the right way around. I thought that was a really cool idea. I think it's a real good piece of kit. Distributor's been fitted. I fitted it on some 18mm ply with a view to probably boxing it in. Battery system is here. As you can see, it's an absolute state. There's an old fuse there for the solar. It looks like it's burnt through a little bit. Yeah, it just doesn't look great at all. So my intentions are to tidy it all up, hopefully. All the cables are labelled. The two big cables that go up there lead to two batteries that are in the seating area up here, which is just not right at all. They're not in the right location. They can move about over 10mm. They can move nearly a metre, let alone 10mm. So I'll put the starter battery in that box, and I'm hoping to put that box somewhere down there, fix it in, and make sure it's nice and tight. These kill switches as well, which you can see are probably going to be no longer because I've got a big one to install, a 500 amp one somewhere. I'm just going to install the switches in some better places than these because they're not right. So the MPPT controller is in place and the fuse ready for the solar array cable to go into the isolator. And the 10mm is already connected into the distributor, ready to supply the MPPT controller. So the solar install so far, tool ready for crimping on my solar cables. What I've done on top of the boat is I've fixed some spacebar saddles along the boat roof, but I've provisionally run the conduit in place and the cable which goes up to the middle of this solar array here, and the cables are going to be wired in series, which means I've got a live that goes all the way up from the MPPT controller all the way down to the boat, to the first panel. It connects onto the live there, then onto the negative, back down to this one, and that negative connects onto the positive, and then the negative from that panel connects onto the positive of this panel, and then the negative is connected down all the way to the MPPT controller, and they're wired in one string, as they say, or in series, as other people like to put it. All of the MC4 connectors are fitted now, so they're all ready just to be plugged together. Okay, so all the wiring is in. It's about 3:30 now in the afternoon, and I started about 12, and then it took me a few hours to get the solar panels actually installed on the roof on another day. So you could probably do this in a day and a half. I've just got to take the little bits of tape off, but it's all encased in conduit. There's no exposed connections that are going to be in the elements as there were before. All of the connectors are here. I haven't put them together yet because you can't run power through to the MPPT controller without a 12 volt supply there, and that all being on and up and running. So I'm not connecting them up at the moment, but they're all ready to go. But yeah, all the connections are all underneath the panel, so there's nothing going to be getting to that as far as weather's concerned. So pretty chuffed with that. Looks fairly neat actually. Yeah, good stuff.
Da, da, da.
Dun, dun, dun.
We have arrived at the time of turning the electricity off, and Pete is very, very, very nervous Don't know why you're nervous.
Oh, I am, because
You'll
look at this, it's an absolute mess. I've got to sort that out and I've got to do it in 7 hours.
Oh dear.
I've got 7 hours to do
See
this.
why you're nervous. Yeah, but tomorrow it's forecast rain, so
Well,
best to do it on a nice sunny day. So you better get
Is
a
that what you're saying?
yeah. You better put your finger out.
Pull your
Stop
finger
bloody
out.
standing around chatting and drinking coffee. Not really. He never does that, so I don't know why I said it. I have to make you stop and have something to eat and drink.
Yeah, but you're the same. You'll go like all day and not
Yeah.
eat anything.
I'll just keep going and going and going the same as you
Well, I
do.
am as big as I am.
That's probably because I'm a feeder.
Yeah, it's when it comes to tea time.
You need to eat this big plate of food. I love how neat you are as well. Look, everything's just labelled.
Anyway, I've got to crack on.
Yeah, we ain't got all day to stand around chatting.
No. We gotta go.
Pete's just took this off, the existing batteries, and there's tape on the bottom of it. So I fetched the tape off. I'm not an electrician myself, but half the strands of this wire isn't even in that thing.
Here's another link.
I'll have a look at that one in a minute. I'm so glad you're doing it, Pete. Looking at this.
Shell's just showed you one of the links about the cables not being connected to the lug. This is another example. So this is a 25mm cable that's linking two batteries. You're probably talking over 100 amps of over 100 amps of current that could be potentially flowing through this stuff, which is fine. It's the right size cable, but the lugs on the end of it. This is a 70mm lug, so it's supposed to go on a 70mm cable. It's actually on a 25 at the minute, and it's got a 12mm hole, which it's actually an 8mm post on the battery, so it's 4mm too big. This hole is, so potentially there's room for moving. And yeah, if things get loose, yeah, there's room for manoeuvre and things going horribly wrong.
I've just fetched all the tape off, the one that Pete's just showing you. And look at that. I've just taken the tape off the other end, and this one's even worse.
Is it?
It's really bad.
Look at that. That, you see, that was wrapped around the live terminal. Look at that.
Oh man. It really is quite scary to think that we've been on the boat, what, 12 months? It could have gone at any time, couldn't it?
Mad. Absolutely mad.
Like, Pete's a bit nervous about today, but I ain't being funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I've never touched a wire before, is it? I mean,
No, you're a qualified electrician.
yeah, I've done an electrical apprenticeship and stuff, so you know, it's not like.
And you've just passed your 12 volt
Yeah,
electric.
but it's just that I've never messed around with 12 volt batteries before, so this is an absolute first for me. But you know, now I'm into it, I'm fine. I'm just ripping stuff out and just going for it now. Now I've kind of like disconnected one battery. That's it. I'm off. So yeah, my aim is just to get everything back on. Me dirty shell.
Yeah, I was clean. I just wiped my hands with hand wipes, and now I'm filthy again. I was going to wear a dress today because it's nice and sunny out.
Well, you still look beautiful.
No, I don't.
You do, yeah, it's nice as well. You've just left it to dry, ain't you, naturally?
Hard right, that's why.
The power situation, the battery box is empty. So I managed to get them all out. There's also batteries in this lid, which I don't really want to lift it up right now, but they're gone. Yeah, so we've got this as like storage now. It's just great. We're just at the moment ripping cables out and putting new ones in through the hole just there, and we're working out where the negatives and positives and stuff need to go, and then we've got to try and start sticking it all back together. What do you reckon, Shelley? You alright?
Yeah. I'm
Sure.
wiping this.
Wiping the chloroform.
Disgusting.
That disgusting thing gives us our hot water.
Well, it's not even hot.
We go.
Because it's covered in dust, it's making it cold.
We've got to sort that out. You got me this for Christmas, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
get any tighter than that.
It's 9 o'clock.
Is it really 9 o'clock?
Yeah. It's really dark and Pete is still going. What's next, Pete?
Don't start anything at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh dear. Batteries, we're going to connect the batteries up. That should be it then. The big switch on.
Day 10.
It's the morning after the night before. We couldn't finish our video last night because it was late, wasn't it, Shell?
Yeah,
20 It was pretty late. Crazy late.
I don't feel like I've been to bed.
20 past 10. I think I got to bed about 1 o'clock. But the main thing was, we have light. We think it's gone okay. Everything seems all... Oh, let me just show you the dogs.
How cute.
Look at them. Lazy gits.
They had a late night.
They had a late night.
They had a very busy day. They were outside all day. They weren't fed till 8 o'clock.
They were still fed. We haven't eaten.
True.
We've had one meal in
2 days.
One meal in about a day and a half. So we're pretty hungry. Well, saying that, I'm not too bad actually.
I am. My stomach's going. Well,
I did refuse a piece of toast. Kettle's boiled. There's still quite a bit to do as far as the electrics are concerned. We've got the solar up and running. We worked out the Bluetooth connection, even though it doesn't work on my phone. It only works on Shell's, and she finds that pretty funny. That's just my luck with my phone. It's not very good. The solar's up and running. Then I've just covered them up now because I've got to connect the power, the auxiliary power, and the power in for the battery shunt. We've got to get a supply into the battery bank for a small fuse board, which will be supplying the bilge pump and the Webasto boiler if we ever want to use it again. So we've got to do that. There's some earthing to do. What else is there? I know there's going to be something, but yeah, we got more electrical work to do today. Shell's got some grouting to do. She's done some toiling.
Grouting to do.
Did you do any videos for that?
No.
Oh dear.
Just in case I did it wrong.
Just in case I did it wrong. You didn't, you smashed it. I'll show you some footage as well of the batteries after. They do look a lot better. The wiring's way neater than it was before. It was an absolute shambles, and safe as well, yeah, because some of those connections were just shocking. But all good.
All good in the hood.
Bless them. Snoozing away. Here we go, his face. Oh, look at that. So here we are in the engine bay. That's the battery system so far. There's still some things to do, like I say. But compared to what it was before, I can't change that big thick black cable going through that hole and over here. Just grab it. This one, because that's all for the engine block, so I don't want to disrupt that. The handles make it more messier. So these links here, the smaller links, there's 2 red ones and 2 black ones. They're the same length, they're about 38 centimetres. And then the doubles, the 2, there should be 1 big black one, yep, that goes around the bottom here. And then the big red one, they're double the length of the smaller links to balance the charging. And the big thick ones, there's a 95mm one here and another one here. I mean, some of it you can't get away with, but as far as I'm concerned, compared to how it was previously, that is way neater. The shunt's fitted here on the side. There's just an auxiliary cable and a power cable that needs fitting. I've fitted the auxiliary one already. It's just the power cable to fit now. The negative bus bar, which I've got to fit the cover for, We'll also have the starter battery negative going to it as well. So all of the negatives will be in that block, and there's nothing then going to the battery banks. So it's all nice and neat. So whenever we need to change them out again. So what I've got to do is, my starter battery's there. I've got to think of a way how to, obviously it's housed, it's protected, but I've got to think of a way to secure it now. There's a gap underneath and there's a strap that comes with this box. And I could strap it to this bar here, but I want to try and think of other ways just to secure that a little bit more. There's also a galvanic isolator that's there. I might move that. I'll see how much flex I've got in my cable, but I might move that round to here. I'll have a think about it and we'll just go from there. There's an earth cable just here. This is from the inverter. It's been cut off. It was there for ages. I wondered what it was, and now I've traced it back, and I was fetching all the wires out yesterday. I can confirm now that it's actually from the inverter. So that is not safe at all. It's supposed to be attached to the hull, which is that post there, and it's not. So I've got to sort that out. There's a cable here which was all part of the bilge pump, which is an absolute mess. So I'm going to take that out and replace that. Some blue marine cable, some 2.5mm if I've got it. If not, I'll see if a chandlery has. But yeah, that's where we're sitting so far. I'll probably have more work to do, but I'll update you on it as we go on. Okay, just a little update then so far. So ignore the white cable. I've wired in the 12 volt power for the shunt. I've moved the galvanic isolator. Just got to put that wiring in there like that. This starter battery I've managed to get in this way. I've put a handle in just there at the side of the battery box, which will allow the strap to wrap round it and hold it in. The strap comes with a battery box, so I'm hoping that that's going to be enough just to hold it all in place. I mean, the battery weighs a ton, that ain't moving anywhere, but the strap will just be an extra, I suppose, an extra contingency for to stop it moving. Should be enough anyway. Let's give it a whirl. Okay, so we're all connected. The Victron kit is Bluetooth enabled, so you can connect to the smart shunt, Shell's phone, because my phone's not working, and the solar is as well, which is great. And it shows you how things are looking with your batteries. So at the moment it's showing that it's not consumed any ampere hours. So it'll calculate how much time remaining we've got with the amount of energy that we've got, and everything's all 100% at the minute. So everything's all hunky-dory as far as the batteries are concerned. You can also check, I'm sorry that my hands are absolutely filthy. I've literally just come out of the engine bay. So you can also check on the solar as well. So it tells you that we've got 55 volts, 0.2 amps at the minute. The sun's starting to set. We've only just opened the solar circuit up, so nothing's really going to come through at the minute, I don't think. But, you know, it will get there, I'm sure, tomorrow. Fingers crossed, we'll keep an eye on it. That's it. As far as this is concerned.
Well done.
Well done.
Job done good.
So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. See how things are going. Hopefully in full sun tomorrow, if we get full sun. It'll charge up nicely. I don't know how many days it is now since I've installed that kit, but we've put some trunking round the wiring to hide most of the conduit. Probably just got to put a little bit more at the end there, but it's hiding that pretty well. I'm just in the engine bay though today. I've got to wire the bilge pump. I've not done that yet, but I just thought I'd dry out some of the water that was in there. I've got rid of some of the water out of the bilge. The pump needs rewiring. It was twisted on, the wire was not crimped on, and it was attached to some dodgy lead. I didn't quite get it myself, to be honest, but I've took it out now because it's not good. Fuse is all fitted in, side, master switch there. Got all my negatives here. My starter battery is just around here, which is switched. I just need to tidy up the cabling with some tie wraps. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Tunnel lights up and running. There we go, let's zoom into it. It's a big sign that everything's all finished now. I can do that quite comfortably now. So there we go. I'm just going to screw this back. We're pretty much all done. What do you say, Shal?
Oh, thank goodness for that.